Okay.
Well, here we are again. I had a lot of really positive remarks when we had the other video with my friends, Margie and Nancy. And so we decided to do another YouTube and have a little discussion. What I'm going to ask right now is that everybody grounds out, though, because there's some energies that are up, breath being held. Have everybody just breathe, relax, ground. And
we're all ready to go. That's why we're holding our breath.
That's it. I'm ready. Well, if we're ready, why are we holding our breath?
Because we're so excited. Because we want to go like, you know how you do a birthday cake and you blow out all the candles? Because it's a celebration. So you hold your breath and then you blow it all out and you blow out all the candles.
Well, I'm glad we blew it out because I'm an empath.
Yes.
And I pick up on energy, and all of a sudden I couldn't breathe. And it's like, hold it, let's breathe, please, let's breathe.
We don't want you to breathe. We're seeing if you notice.
I noticed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay then, you win.
You know, I was thinking again about a topic for us to talk about because it's kind of nice to have a topic. And the universe supplies it each and every time. And this is kind of a carryover from what we started the last time that we got together. And that's the breaking old patterns and how it's being pushed in on us even if we're holding it. 2011 is a whole new energy. And we're finding through events in our personal lives and in life in general what is no longer in alignment. And it's through very human experiences. Yet these experiences represent so much. Something I know for a fact is Margie had trouble with her email address because she sent us a different email address and said, well, if you email me there, I may get the emails. Nancy's had computer issues with email, only it's hitting AOL and hitting worldwide.
Yes.
I have had the whole computer go down. And so this is something, she's getting ready to speak, I'll stop.
Remotes, had trouble with the remote went out, had trouble with the printer wouldn't work, all kinds of electronic equipment. What I found was my energy had changed and was not in alignment with the electromagnetic fields of all of the electrical things in my home. So I went around to each one and asked that I be put in divine alignment and that we all be put in divine alignment so that anything, we won't be blowing out the computer, we won't be blowing out the remote, we won't be blowing out this, that, and the other thing. And it works for the car too. Same thing for cars. I had to have my car repaired because there was some kind of energy going.
Yeah, I can no longer charge my phone on the outlets at home, so it charges only in the car when I'm with it. Only when I'm with it will it charge. So that's how I charge my phone now. So it's that happening all around the world, I noticed. And the reason that my email stopped working was because somebody told me, the computer expert told me that there were 11,000 emails that had accumulated in a box, which wasn't even on the level that I could see, but was actually with the server. So they deleted 11,000 emails, and now my email is working again, which was really strange.
But who would want 11,000 emails?
Absolutely.
Well, but it's a combination of
everything.
Everything
yes, and
the
that number.
energy. Yes.
The number 11.
Yeah.
Because
like that.
It's
like
a
that.
new era that everything has changed, that we no longer have things happen the way we do. And what we need to do is we need to think different thoughts. We need to think differently the way things happen. The old way used to be that we used to think we should all be in this room and we should meditate for hours, because the hours and the energy of everyone would make things move. This is no longer appropriate. Things move in an instant, just like that. The thought moves to create in an instant. We no longer need to sit for hours and imagine or think or visualize that this will happen when things happen just like that. And we have to realize that this is the new way, is that it is still nice to get together in groups, but we have to think that everything happens immediately.
Instant.
Exactly.
And that goes both
Instant.
for the positive and for the negative.
Absolutely.
I was standing at the counter before they got here, and I just had a little thought in my mind of, I don't know if this soup is going to be okay. Boom, my foot went over, and I hit the side of my foot. Just like that, one little instant. So everything, it's such keen awareness of every thought that is going through my mind, to be careful, to be aware.
Well, and that's it. Many of these occurrences that we are having are to keep us aware. I found with myself, with the computer issues I had, and that was the old computer, which has been fixed many times, and I had been thinking about updating to Windows 7 and updating the monitor and updating this program, updating that. And the thought had occurred to me just to get a new computer, and then I resisted that because I was quite comfortable with it as it was. Yet I'm doing the YouTubes, and I'm doing the Skype, and I'm doing this, doing that. Well, to prepare the old computer for the new absolutely broke, well, I didn't break it where it's unrepairable, but brought it to my attention that it was time just to bring in the new. What I found is, as I did this, I was very accepting of the new coming in, but I found myself emotionally starting to fight and claw back, that's figure of speech, to crawl back to the old way. And I was allowing myself to get into the emotions, which is fine. We have our emotions. We're in the human experience. It is what it is. And I finally got away from it, went to see a friend, and then it dawned on me, if this is the worst I am having to deal with, that's not so bad. But also it brought me that moment of, I work with thousands and thousands of people. And many times when I'm speaking to them and an old circumstance is leaving, and I'll say, you know, it's leaving for a reason. Let it go. It's recreating. It's allowing new to come in. And I had to smile because once I realized that I was trying to hold the old, I wasn't allowing everything to align in the new energy. The universe provides. It was providing everything. And so I released this need to hold on to the old and resisting or accepting the new partially and resisting, you know. And all of a sudden it's all just fun again. Absolutely, it's working out. Email addresses are getting... By the way, if you aren't on my email list and I've lost your email address, please email me. Needless to say, nothing, the old doesn't want to sync with the new. And downloading email addresses has not been.
I want to use another example. I have my house for sale, and I've had it for sale for a while, and I had in my mind exactly where I was going to go live, which was in Southern California. And then we went down, we looked, and just had a really good time, but nothing came together. We even signed an offer on a place, and that flat didn't come together. So we've decided to come back home. Mind you, I'd packed up the dog, the cat, my husband, and everything. We were living in a motel. The cat had no sun for all this time. And finally, I talked to Sherry, and I said, you know, I think it's time for us to come home. So we came home, and I just settled down then, and I said, okay, nothing's going to happen. It was all supposed to come together in my head. The minute we went down, the minute we made an offer, it didn't come together. Nothing came together. Now, we've just recently started to have, the minute I quit trying to organize it and started letting things come in, we've had 3 people come look at the house. I don't know how soon it's going to sell, but I've just relaxed. All I have is today, this moment. That's it.
Well, you know, and there's another part going on here also, and a friend of mine brought up that she had studied the Eastern way of thinking and the Western way of thinking. With the Eastern, she was saying you let it go and let the universe bring it to you.
Yes.
Western is you think about it, you hold it, and create it. Well, it's a blending of that. First of all, you're
It
always
is.
creating. You're creating in every moment. And so have it in your thought. Yet it's the old way was trying to mold and control, and of course you're going to find it didn't really
Yes.
work then anyway. But bring it in, see it, and then let it go out and come back to you.
Yes, release it.
And what
The
came
wind.
back to me was through a totally unasked for source was that may not be where we end up. So, you know, and then that opened up a whole array of possibilities of, oh, I don't know where we're going to be.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to be
Yeah.
doing. And it may be a whole new different thing than we ever even thought.
And
so that was
yeah.
exciting.
Well, and it's taking these everyday events, because we're getting information in every moment. And it may take at times a little bit of what we would call struggle to have the realization of what the message and the gift is in it. And so through your daily events, see what information it's bringing you. You know, that you don't have to have control, that it's okay to let go of the old and have new come in.
Another thing that came up during this process that again came from the same person was that lives have been extended so that we can do more work of a certain nature. And this was really exciting to me because, of course, why not? You know, if we want to choose to stay and do more work to help whatever we can, whoever we can, in whatever way we can, why not? And so this was exciting on many, many levels. It opened up, you know, then I asked about some other people. Well, you know, this is a friend of mine. How about their life extension? Yes, that one's going to be extended. No, it's out for decision. Don't know yet. No, this one is decided not. And so I was able to tap in and collect information that was helpful.
Well, it's all about your DNA activating.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
humans only use 30% of their DNA.
Yes.
And they're
Yes.
meant to use all of it.
Yes.
We are meant to live hundreds of years.
Yes.
But because
productively, happily.
Yes, because our mind can't get around that.
Yes.
And we can't even imagine that, then we create this reality that it's not possible.
Right, and it's connected with an age. Once you reach a certain age,
Absolutely.
you're old. You're expected to have this kind of a disease or that kind of disease. You're expected to blah, 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 on and on.
That's
and
right.
That's not true.
No, it's
That's
not
just
true.
flat not
That's
true.
true. Our DNA is activating. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, we call the other DNA percentage of ourselves junk
Yeah.
DNA, but we don't even have a clue. It's like, imagine this, on this island with these natives who've never seen like a boombox. Well, what they see is the loudspeakers who are making all the noise. Here is the other part which has no movement, makes no sound, nothing. They imagine that the part is making the noise is the part that's active. But what we do not understand is the part that is silent and not moving is what creates the sound. So imagine that being our DNA.
Yes.
We do not understand that part, which science says does nothing, when in reality,
Doesn't.
that is what does the creation and makes man move forward. So we have to get out of this box. We have to move forward. We have to think at different levels, at different strands.
It's remembering at a different level from when mankind first came. There was a lengthy period of life that always was. It was when it came to thought and the thinking of the idea that it was impossible, that the longevity of mankind's lifespan began to shrink, and the belief systems grew, extinguishing the lives at an earlier age. It is remembering to go past what is believed, letting go of the old limiting belief systems. The body and the mind regenerate moment by moment by moment, allowing the thoughts to be moved that this is so. Again, there are many writings of times earlier in which man and woman had lived hundreds and hundreds of years. It was only when the beliefs that the body must weaken that they began to leave at an earlier time. Moving yourself from the limited thoughts and the limited beliefs. When you find yourself saying it is impossible, ask why you believe it is impossible. Where did the thought impossible come from? If mankind, and this is what many people understand, is creating at each moment by their thoughts, their words, and their actions, what is being implemented through your thoughts, words, and actions? What are you creating in your life? What are you resisting, allowing to form? If you are putting out information that there is lack of any type, whether it be health, well-being, sources of financial support, love, any type of expression, of course that is what will be in effect. As you raise your thoughts past that and create, you create with a more fulfilled life. Allow yourself to focus energy on what it is that you believe is in your highest good, which is health, well-being, love, financial support. As you do this, you create it. It is only the belief systems that do not allow you to live in a way that is much more complementary to who you are.
You know, along these same lines, I've been an avid reader all my life, and I had the awareness come to me that I don't need to read. I don't need to read old material of times and people gone by, even yesterday, that everything that I need comes to me if I simply ask and stay open. Mm-hmm. And that just was, I was so excited because I've spent hours and hours reading other people's information and saying, yes, feels right, no, this doesn't feel right, well, maybe, and I don't need to do that. All I need to do is stay open, and it comes to me. The wisdom comes to me.
Absolutely. You don't have to learn. You don't have to go to classroom to learn spiritual truth. It is revealed to you. It's like an onion, how each layer peels back. It is revealing, and that's what it is. That's what I've found.
Well, with me, from the minute I activated, I have not been able to read hardly anybody else's work. I may be able to read a few paragraphs, maybe a chapter or two. I collect books because I love books, and I used to be an avid reader, yet I can't. There's been maybe in the last 10 years a handful, and at times it's kind of interesting when somebody says, well, have you heard of this person? I'm going, no. Have you dealt with this person's work? Well, no. Yet when it comes, it's information that actually affirms or confirms information that I put out. And it is a way for me to say to people, see, I didn't study under anybody else. The information's there, it lives within us, and there's many of us that have never contacted in any way, shape, or form that are giving the same exact information.
Yes, yes.
And
Yes.
so trust that you know that it lives there. Trust that what's inside of you. But also, a point somebody hit on, or it feels like a point, because when I shift gears here a little bit, I don't always attach to the physical, is trusting that they know the information. Learning other people's work as if they know more than. Instead, trust what comes to you, not comparing
Yes.
it outward.
Absolutely.
Another thing that I've done in the past and still do is I will take a book and just hold it between my hands, and whatever I need out of that book comes to me. And that's been a way for me to go through a lot of material in a very quick and easy manner.
Well, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
it is
fun.
fun.
It is
You know,
fun.
I didn't
This is-
think you could do this until I tried it and did it, and then somebody would say, well, actually asked to be kind of tested on it because I didn't quite believe. And so I was. The person who'd read the book asked questions. and I just said whatever came to my mind, and it was accurate.
And again, if you don't do it the same way, it doesn't mean you're not doing it. It means that's not your way.
Right. It doesn't mean that we're special
No.
because we're doing this differently. It's just a difference of how we do. It's like cooking. Everybody cooks differently. We all have different recipes. Some don't even bother
Want to
cooking.
cook? Come to my house.
So, that's just what it is. It's nothing special about anybody. We're
Right.
all special.
Right, and everybody sharing what you do and the ways you do it, to me, is important because then it'll either validate somebody, or you'll get an idea from somebody else, or it'll help you release a belief that isn't accurate any longer, whatever.
Well, and allowing it to come from yourself or in ways that are fun also reminds you that life is fun. A lot of people have forgotten that. We get into this human experience, and it has become such a struggle for many, many people, forgetting to look out and say, hold it, this is fun. So if you allow yourself to play with it, first of all, you wake the child up inside of you, and you remember that you're here to enjoy and play and remember your abilities, your gifts, or in truth, who you are. Well, girls, we're coming to a close here, but what is the question of the day? We got Margie's cards with us again. And so what do we want to ask today?
I think we want to ask, what is the next step for each of us individually, as well as for everybody who sees this?
Yes. Because we're all connected.
Yes.
A collective next step.
Collective next step.
There we go. So would you like to choose? Pick a card, any card.
Pick a card,
Any
any card.
card.
Alrighty, then I'll bring the cards closer and each of us will pick a card. And I'll pick it, and then I'll let Nancy pick one.
Your next step in whatever it is you're doing in your life, and the card helps represent or give you an idea of your next step. And this is what's really fun, is because you have interpretations from the three of us, information that comes in. Not that Nancy can get a card.
It's
You
coming.
may have to
It's
wait till
coming.
tomorrow. We're time for a commercial now.
Brown must be the color. Okay, the next step. We're going to start with Margie. What is...
Oh, yes,
Oh.
a spacesuit.
It is
Whoa.
space. And as you can see, it is someone who is an astronaut who's hanging, actually connections. To me, this means that all of us are going to make a more universal connection. This man is hanging out in space, but as you can see, he still is connected. We are going to learn a whole new, different way of thinking. It is beyond the world that we know. It's going to bring us all together in a different way of connecting, which to us may seem alien.
Oh, I think this is so beautiful, because I think it represents a part of us. Each of us, I believe, are from this and all planets and all realms, to and from source. And the way we are connected is, this man represents it through little cords. I see it as light. We're all light. Beautiful, beautiful beams of light.
Traveling. Remembering the outer worlds, still connected to Earth. At this time, it's showing he needs the gear and the instruments and the machinery. Yet, that representing in my mind the connection to this physical world. Yet we're exploring all of the outer realities, all of the outer worlds. But very well supported and taken care of. All of the needs are being met. The atmosphere, the fluids, everything's here. So whatever's necessary is there for this exploration.
I just had the thought, one additional thought, that in a way this represents the old belief that you need the suit, you need all the other things, that you cannot just go free and go.
One of these days we'll lift that card, suit and everything be gone.
Yeah,
just be floating.
exactly.
Just floating.
Absolutely.
The one I have says plan your escape, and it's a couple on the beach. She has her arms around him, their heads are connected, He has and the ocean is behind. And to me, this means love. Love yourself by loving another. Go to wherever it makes you happy, wherever you can join and connect with the greatest amount of love and light.
And I like this escape clause because in a sense it reminds me is that we're going to escape the old way of thinking. We're going to go in this new state of love. So that is the completion of the male and the female. So to me that totally represents that.
What catches my attention in this particular one is the lack of background interference. They're fully connected, male-female energies, appreciating, enjoying. They're smiling. They're fully connected without all of the background interference. How do you escape? Well, it isn't necessarily escape, but to shut off all of the noise that's been interfering with your ability to connect and love. I haven't looked at mine just briefly, but mine is just cute. This is the little baby wolves, I think. Is it wolves?
Foxes.
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 Foxes. Okay, I can't tell one baby from another.
Foxes.
Yet they're infants cuddled together. Foxes. Very, very smart creatures. And Margie's getting her animal cards. But they're the one's very alert, the other's relaxing, snuggled together. It's new. It's new, but we're watching. The next step, be that youthful, new being. Knowing that you can be alert and watching, but you can also relax and be comfortable. That you're supported, that you're safe, that everything's perfect. How sweet. And purple flowers in the background. Yep.
I think it's also a reminder to always stay connected to the plant, the animal, the mineral kingdoms, all of the known and unknown kingdoms, the visible and invisible kingdoms. And remember the sweetness, the absolute sweetness of being together and snuggling together. These two are snuggling. They're tucked into one another. They're just absolutely precious. There's a preciousness to
the
this.
word sweet coming up, but your kitty came forward too as we're talking about the little animal. The kitty came in.
Well, let me tell you the power of the fox. It is the feminine magic of camouflage, shape-shifting, and invisibility. It talks about that there are 21 different kinds of foxes found throughout the world, and the 21 is a very significant number. In the tarot deck, it is the world, is a card that reflects a new world opening up, that the process of creation is beginning. It reflects that the world is growing and shape-shifting itself into new patterns that will be beneficial.
What a next step. That's beautiful. Wow. That's terrific.
For us and for everybody.
Everyone. Yeah. And so enjoy your next step. If you find you're struggling with something, ask if it's something that is time to be let go of, or allow yourself to do it in a new way.
Shape-shift.
Shape-shift. Allow yourself to grow.
Be a fox.
Right.
Girls,
we're all
be
foxy.
foxy.
Yeah.
Foxes. Like, you know, the Saturday Night Live where those guys, foxes.
Thank you so much for
watching us. We love you.
Yes.
Thank you for listening.
Well, I started to say enjoying us. I've enjoying doing this, but thank you for joining us.